They're the Unknown Mortal Orchestra.
Yes, they
I understand
are.
that they have all the elements that a regular sports fan would be like, what?
What is that?
Turn this crap off. And yet here we are, blasting it all out into the
To the
airwaves.
high heavens.
Like, I feel like this music would not be woofer or tweeter friendly, or
No.
like there'd be no reason to have floor tweeters for this song.
No, you don't need
Like, if you drove around like your city with that, remember Mike Locastro's car?
Yeah, I do.
Mike Locastro.
I worked at a gas station where the other people who worked at that gas station in St. Louis decided to create their own fraternity, Gamma Alpha Sigma.
Gas.
Mm-hmm. It's a bunch of dudes hanging out in a house.
Mike
Mike
Locastro
was the guy who worked there.
He put the speakers in the back of, what was it, like a Corolla? I don't know what it was.
I don't know what it was. It was the kind of thing where you lifted up the hatchback and it was all speakers.
Just all speakers.
Just a wall, like no trunk space.
He could have made anything sound powerful. That last song, the Unknown Mortal Orchestra, Sleeping with Sharks, he could have even
There's
made
no
that.
Yes,
There's no
he could
human
have.
way he could have made that.
Yes, he could have.
Guys, it's Sklarbro Country, and it's a
Yes.
live VPN Sklarbro Country.
Hello, welcome to those who are watching it live streaming. We've got a great show today. Rob Delaney, Twitter darling,
The man has nearly 1 million Twitter followers.
and earned every goddamn one of them.
everyone. There was no like Twitter bot thing that got.
No.
No, he has earned it. He is like the king of Twitter. I love Rob Delaney.
And what's come through in his Twitter is a very unique writing style, which he has now translated and transformed into a book.
Yeah.
He's got a new book out.
got a new book coming out in November. We'll talk about his book. It's always fun to have him on. He sung the national anthem
multiple times.
multiple
At
times.
Red Sox games, I think.
Yeah, didn't he do a Dodgers game too? We'll
we'll
get
find out.
back into that with him.
As
but,
baseball's in full swing, we're Cardinals fans, obviously, and that was an insane series. I'm sorry to everyone from Pittsburgh who listens.
I
to
feel
the
like
show.
the rest of the country, although
no one was rooting for the Cardinals.
By the way, this is how negative it is to be a Yankee. When people call, like they're on Twitter, people called like St. Louis like the National League pinstripes,
the new
National
Yankees.
League Yankees.
That's
First
not
of all, that's
a
compliment.
And also, that couldn't be further from the truth.
Yeah.
The Cardinals have built their organization through a farm system. They haven't spent tons of money on it. Yes, they acquired some people, but they're not the Dodgers. The Dodgers have bought this
They are
team.
the National League Yankees.
They're the National League Yankees, and they're also really exciting. I don't fault them for that, but the Cardinals are a small market team. They've made their way into the playoffs again. They're making themselves to the National League Championship Series again. We're trying to get tickets. Again. We'll see what happens.
We'll see what can happen.
I'm willing to curb a guy if I have to.
If we need-
American
if-
history has to. I saw that scene the other day, and it almost made me want to throw up.
You can't watch it. You got to look away.
Speaking of getting curbed and wanting to throw up, Bruce Jenner
Bruce Jenner
and
has
Kris Jenner have split.
this week.
It's
We got a
official.
ton of tweets from people, guys.
Are we going to hear from Bruce?
You will hear from him on
he
the
left
show
us
today.
a voicemail, which I would like
Let's
to
play the voicemail
Here,
while
give me the thing. This is how we do it on live.
This is technicalities happening right here
on live
podcast,
Live Nation. Live Nation.
I'm
So
going
let
to
me-
chew this.
Let me get this ready. You chew that. Do that right into the thing.
Mm-hmm.
This is a message we got from Bruce Jenner. The breakup.
Let's hear it.
Read the sentence.
You want to know how happy he is? Listen to this.
Later on the show, we're going to try and get him on the line.
What's up, guys? Holy crap! I'm free of that goddamn bitch!
I ain't gonna sit around.
You heard it, guys!
A perfect
I'm
smile is
free of that bitch! She's not gonna tell me what to do anymore!
real just to show the kids.
She's not gonna have old Bruce to buzz around!
I got smart, I got rich, and
Right
I got
now,
still. And they all
I'm
like,
doing 114
love yourself, girl.
on the 10 freeway.
Women, I don't know how you deal with all the
I'm headed up the PCH
I feel for you.
to go have Clams Casino with Ryan Seacrest.
Put makeup on.
Today is a good day, Sklarbro. Sklar Brothers. It's a great day for Bruce and a great day for men. Freedom! Freedom, my brothers! Everywhere there is freedom! Like Dr. King said, the only thing we have to fear is fear itself.
That wasn't
Uh-oh,
Dr. King.
I'm getting pulled over. Oh, God. Ryan, get me my license, Ryan. Get me my license out of the glove compartment.
That's where he keeps his license in the glove compartment.
Give me back the thing. Give me back the thing.
He got pulled over.
All
right, that was not what I was expecting.
But I'm anxious to hear what happened the rest of that night. Clams Casino up in Malibu with Seacrest.
Guy's on a tear. He's ready to
rock.
be rejuvenated.
He's happy.
He's up.
He's happy. We knew this was coming for a long time, but it's crazy to think of like him. It's like when Howard Stern couldn't curse.
Yeah.
And then he went to Sirius Radio, like all the shackles
Floodgates were open.
He can do whatever he wants.
Say all the things that we thought he was thinking.
When Walter White told Skyler what he was doing.
I'm still behind. Still behind in Breaking Bad.
You're into a whole new world at this point.
Uh-huh.
I mean, there are problems. We'll get into it with him.
Yeah.
But you're in a whole new world.
That's right.
The Giants are playing tonight, the football Giants, and we've got a take about that. I want to mention to our friends who are listening, please come see us in Lexington, Kentucky. Some people said they already got their tickets.
24th, 25th, 26th, Thursday, Friday, Saturday at
Comedy Off Broadway. It's supposed to be a really cool club. We're very excited to go there and be there. Our first time in Lexington, Kentucky. Then St. Louis, 2720 Cherokee Arts Performing Center in St. Louis, November 8th. We're very excited to do that show.
Two shows,
I believe, that night. So that's going to be really fun. And then, of course, our special, Majestic Theater. They've announced it. It's on their calendar. You can get your tickets now. Let's sell this thing out before the end of the year. That's my goal. That's my hope.
Goal.
Let's see if we can't sell it out. 2/22, February 22nd, Madison, Wisconsin.
Madison in the winter. It's like Phoenix in August. You gotta love it.
And by the way, we're letting people know we're going to be in Bloomington, Indiana, sometime in the spring, and we're looking at going back to Chicago, the Up Theater. So got some dates. We'll let you guys know about all those. You can go to supersklars.com to find out when we're performing near you. Check out our show, Mighty Med, our brand new show that we're on. If you've got kids around the age of anywhere like 7 and up, 6, 7,
6 to probably like 11.
11 or 12. It is such a fun show. Monday nights, Disney XD, 8:30 Eastern Time, Mighty Med. We're on a bunch of those episodes. And what else? Let's get into the takes. Shall we get into some takes? Because we got Rob Delaney in here and then Bruce Jenner later.
We'll get Jenner on the phone later. All right. You know we love lady energy up in the county, up in the country.
Our female fans are executive platinum. They may board any plane first in Sklarbro country.
They are Sky Miles Elite.
Gold preferred class.
Signature Captains Club.
Members for life.
Yes.
I saw that Saturday Night Live sketch with Tina Fey.
Fantastic.
Now, take that reverence, that sheer affection and
adoration, yes,
that we have for our lady fans, and instantly quadruple it for a lady streaker at a sporting event.
Lady streaker at a sporting event, it's magical. Let's add that she is an attractive lady.
You don't see too many lady streakers at sporting events because there's extra danger involved. Lady streaker.
Attractive lady streaker bumps up the danger a little bit.
Everybody wants to tackle that
Security guards are like, I got this one, Jeff.
She's mine. I got it.
I got it, bro.
I got it. You got like random fans who are like, no, I got it.
I got it.
I got
a little help on this one. I got it.
Really? You got this one? You're in a wheelchair.
Most people look away from the male streaker. A lot of people look right at the female.
You are drawn to the female streaker.
And usually, like, we associate streakers with soccer and with football, occasionally baseball, rarely golf.
Yeah, and yet,
rarely golf.
But it kind of makes sense. It maybe makes the most sense of all. That here we are. We have a female streaker at a PGA golfing event. We've got that story right here. Kimberly Webster.
Which, based on the unfortunate luck of child actors, is not a great name to begin with.
Kimberly, the name of Dana Plato, who was on Different Strokes.
Dana Plato's character on Different Strokes. We all know what happened to her. Webster... Not a lot of us know what happened to him.
We do not know what happened.
I would argue that probably no one knows.
If you asked,
where's Webster today?
If you asked Emmanuel Lewis.
I'm Googling him right now.
If you asked Emmanuel Lewis that question, he would not be able to answer that question.
I just want to see if he's alive.
That's all I'm going to say. By the way, Webster defines Kimberly Webster as batshit crazy.
Yeah.
So thank you, Webster's Dictionary. Streaking at a golfing event.
Born March 9th, 1971.
And there's just a dash.
Just a dash.
Still alive.
Still alive.
Still alive.
Still alive.
Still alive. I'm going to say his kidneys are working overtime, but he is still alive.
In Japan, he is known as a singer. Has released 2 singles in his debut single, City Connection.
In Japan...
reached 2 on the Oricon chart.
In Japan, Clay Aiken is known as a singer.
That's right.
Streaking at a golfing event is kind of genius, Jay, when you think about it.
Well, yeah, because you got a lot of ground to cover.
It's hard to have security on all of the holes.
Yeah, you can ride that one out for a while. You can
hide in the woods.
And by hiding in the woods, we are, of course, talking about Tiger.
Mm-hmm.
He may have even stepped up and said, "I got this one."
He's not. Yeah,
He's not, I don't know. Was he in the tournament?
Lindsey Vonn was there, putting squirrels on his shoulder, and he was like,
"I got it,
guys. I got it.
I got her." Which, by the way, that was probably most people's thought at first. Like
Tiger.
What did he do?
Where's Tiger? Like you see a naked woman running on a golf course. You
At a
know
PGA event. She's either running to or she's running from Tiger Woods.
That's it. You say to yourself, what crazy Perkins waitress did he hook up with or promise to call or get gallery tickets for her and her son?
And then
never did. Well,
she's back and she is running wild.
She is running loose.
To me, this is what Girls Gone Wild, that's what this video should be.
Just truly girls gone wild.
She's a gal
like
gone wild.
biting a tree. That
This is a
would
girl
be
gone
really
running,
exciting.
streaky. There are photos, and there's a little bit of video footage of this woman.
And like we said, not unattractive.
Tiger!
Not unattractive.
Tiger!
And not totally naked.
No.
Tiger.
Well, okay. So that may be her out in this case, is that she wasn't.
She's like, I had a thong on. What?
She had little pasties
What?
on. She wasn't totally naked. For all intents and purposes, she is naked.
But not full frontal nudity.
Right.
She
So-
also had a pair of shoes on at one point.
And then the shoes disappeared in some of the photos.
And by the way, they were not running shoes.
they weren't even like Crocs.
They were like Toms.
Not Tom's of Maine toothpaste.
No, they were Tom's shoes.
Tom's shoes.
Which Tom's has a tradition of like getting a pair of Tom's.
When you buy a pair of Tom's
they
shoes,
give a pair of Toms to an underprivileged person
in
of
a
the
third
exact
world
same
country.
size in a third world country. So this woman and that woman, ironically, were whoever got the shoes are probably both at the same time
running for their lives,
naked
from someone who's
just
trying
in a
to-
pair of Toms.
Yes.
So in that way, there was a symbiosis there that
Yes.
probably never has happened before.
Whatever's happening with her shadow pair was probably also happening with her. I'm calling those a shadow pair.
Look, we're parents.
I'm coining that phrase, the shadow pair of Tom's shoes.
That may be the name of this show, Shadow Pair.
Yeah.
If you have kids there at this event, you're not happy.
No.
That's not something you want them
That's
to see.
not a moment you need
You
to
gotta
explain.
explain it.
Now you got to start talking about it.
But for the component of drunk dudes who are at a golfing event who
And there's probably a few.
Whenever someone tees off, they yell, Yahtzee!
Or get in the hole.
Now, when they say that,
Get in the hole now takes new meaning when you see a half, maybe 98% naked woman running around. I don't know if John Daly was entered somewhere in this tournament. I'm like, think about him. Maybe he'll get naked at some point. I don't know.
but a woman who's fit and not bad looking, that is a bonus.
Yes,
That is a box I would not mind teeing off on. Hey-o. Hi-o. That is bizarre. That is wild.
I do think it would be incredibly uncouth, like Jay tipped the joke way early. If
Yes.
if a guard was chasing this woman and someone yelled
did
out, "Get in the hole,"
Yeah, that would be bad.
that's just rude.
Yeah, that would be horrible.
Was she trying to make a statement? At one point, she did have an American flag.
I don't know. Is she a jingoist? I don't know why
Was
she
she
would have.
protesting something?
I don't know.
See, this feels a little million second quizzy
I haven't seen it
to me. Like
haven't
you get
watched one.
excited about all the elements. It's Seacrest.
The
It's lights.
concept. Yes.
It's dramatic music. It's an elaborate contestant chair, but then the message of it is lost in the confusion of the whole thing.
We don't know what her purpose was. We can't decipher what she's
Nor
doing.
do we know what the purpose of a million-second quiz is.
No, I
What
still
was her message other than clothes suck
Yeah.
or dress code? We need to
We don't need no stinking dress code.
trim your rough. Maybe that was
Maybe
the
that was the message. Trim your rough.
If I can groom my rough, why can't you guys? And for the next guy who hooks up with this woman and tells his guy friends about it, he'd be a fool not to tell him that he got through her first cut of rough.
Yes.
It was hard to get out of.
Hey.
Everything he was pulling
You gotta
everything
swing
left.
the stick really hard, and you
Pulling
you're
everything
gonna
left.
Pull everything left.
Kimberly told Webster told a Columbus morning radio show, a zoo.
It's got to be a zoo. It has to be.
zoo or an asylum,
morning
something.
meeting, maybe.
Something crazy. She
Yeah.
told him that it started out as a joke with her friends. Mm-hmm. Then she did some research on it and found out that all the streakers in the past were men.
Oh. So she's caring about this. And where did she do her research? Wikipedia?
You know what sets her apart from most of the streakers in history?
Besides her boobs?
Well, not really her boobs. A lot of bigger dudes have
yes.
run, and the man boobs are probably bigger than what she was
Which is
rocking,
fine, by
which
the
is
way.
fine.
Totally fine.
But the amount of research she did before streaking, that's what sets her apart from everyone else who's ever streaked. Because
You don't think of streakers as research-heavy
I'm willing to
individuals.
bet that most of the dudes they're like 8 beers in to a morning sporting event,
And they're like,
that's when they're
they
like,
don't even know how they lost their pants.
next, like the pants are off, and they're like, "Are we doing this? I guess we're doing this."
Like, she definitely as she was running around naked, knew where her wallet was.
Yeah,
you can't say that about a lot of streakers.
she may at one point have been running with a purse.
I don't know. She had Tom's shoes on. I'm not sure.
Actually, Webster said she called a friend of hers who was a police officer.
When you say Webster, you mean Emmanuel Lewis, right?
Yes. Kimberly Webster called a friend of hers who was a police officer, asked him what the charges would be if he got caught.
If she got caught,
would she be a sex offender? Yeah, just by asking the question, would I be a sex offender, you will not be a sex offender.
No.
Because any sex offender does not think that they're a sex offender. They have every rationalization that says they're not.
like, I just love being around children.
We're just horsing around, is what Sandusky said.
Yeah.
I'm sure he never checked with his friends to be like, does that make me?
Is this crossing
if
the line?
I shower with rhythmic slapping, does that make me?
No. Yes, it does make you, asshole.
But the best was her cop buddy who said, you know what, Kimberly? He didn't say this is a bad idea.
He should have. He should
As an
have stood
officer
right
of the
up.
law and her friend, he should say, you know what? You could get in trouble, number one. This is
Now that I know this, I think you
this
shouldn't
is
do
what's,
it.
I have to tell somebody. This is what's going to come up every time someone Googles you.
Right, your
on
photo.
any job interview or whatever. This
Any
your
J
reference,
date, any dating service, anything. Anytime
Christian
anyone
mingle. If you
anytime
try to
someone,
go both sides of the coin.
anytime someone looks you up, this is what's going to come up.
The cop friend said, nope, don't worry about it, Kimberly. I'll pay the fines for you.
What?
Wait, what?
No. This guy essentially said, you're going to get in trouble, but I'm a cop. I'm going to bail you out.
With money that I made from the police department. Basically, I will finance you breaking the law.
That does not seem right.
I'm going to break it down for everybody. The cop is a friend of Kimberly's who would like it to be more than a friendship.
There you go.
More than once, he brought his handcuffs over to watch Californication with her,
Yes.
hoping that something would have happened.
And like just, not trying to be subtle about it.
just like, hey,
laying them on the table.
where did these come from?
What,
Did
you
I
know-
bring these again?
Did I leave those?
But it hasn't yet, so this is the closest he thinks he can get
Yes.
to seeing her naked. He's okay with sharing it with the American public.
Hey.
And that's what the President's Cup is all about, really, when you think about the President's Cup of golf.
It's about doing
something for your country, and sharing it with your country.
God bless America.
Now, we mentioned the Giants game is on tonight.
Yes, they're so bad this year.
They're so bad this year, and Eli threw a pick in his first series. That's
Tonight.
how bad tonight. That is how bad they are.
It's so bad.
The defense held up, and because they are playing against Jay Cutler, but still, absolutely terrible.
They're so bad that they are no longer being shown at New York City strip clubs because they're supposedly killing the mood.
Boner Busters, which would have, by the way, been an amazing name for an adult-themed Dave and Buster's.
Which I'm going to say is ironic because I think Dave and Buster's is already an adult-themed Chuck E. Cheese.
Skee ball at Boner Busters. You put your balls in the holes.
Folks.
Whack-a-mole.
That's
That's
self-explanatory.
self-explanatory.
It stays the same.
I love that at some point strip clubs were like, you know what? Tits aren't enough.
We need a buffet.
We need big screen TVs. We gotta be
Showing the
some
games. I mean,
Going to a strip club to watch a game seems like
too much multitasking.
Multitasking that's way too cumbersome. It makes no sense. It makes about as much sense as the sports bar that we've talked about on the show, Home Turf, which is at the Southwest Airlines terminal.
Yes,
US Air terminal of LAX. A
Home
sports
Turf.
bar called Home Turf.
At an airport.
Whose home turf is that?
Nobody's.
Who is going to that place to watch their team play?
Like, I got to look.
I gotta be with my people.
I got to be with my crew. There's
My
only
crew.
one. There's only one Jacksonville Jaguars bar here in Los Angeles, and it is at the airport.
This is where you feel most comfortable with.
I
like,
need to go
amongst-
through security.
And by the way, amongst a bunch of budget travelers, they would never let you in because
No.
you don't have a ticket. You have to buy a ticket to fly somewhere.
Sports bars in airports are empty, and everyone is standing just outside the part where they don't have to buy anything, so they can still watch the TVs.
Look, I get wanting to have sports on. I understand it. It
Yes.
gives dudes the ultimate guy experience while in the strip club.
Yes.
Like having a woman grind on you while watching the 2011 Giants is for the duration of 3 songs.
Yes.
Basically a dream.
Yes,
that
we
is the
get it.
dream for most New York
Yes.
dudes. It's like basically if you're a Game of Thrones fan, it's like what King Joffrey experiences every moment.
Great.
Of every day.
Okay.
This all works while the Giants are winning.
But if they're as god-awful as they are this year, if Eli Manning is basically doing a Mark Sanchez impression.
He's like a nerdier Mark Sanchez.
You don't want that playing at the strip club. I get it.
Buzzkill.
Buzzkill.
The New York Giants' lackluster play will beat a boner into the dirt. It's probably upsetting to the women who are
Yes.
doing their best to arouse these guys.
Yes.
And yet they got to deal with the flaccidity that's happening in there.
You don't want any dreams to die in a strip club unless, of course, we're talking about the dreams of all the strippers, which have already died before they even
They
got
were
there.
DOA when they came in
Yeah,
there,
yeah.
when they were wheeled in.
So Rick's Cabaret,
Strip
honestly,
club.
honoring that movie. Fantastic.
Casablanca.
Casablanca, of course.
Is in New York, has stopped showing Giants games in the club because they know They just know not to. All right.
Club spokesman, and
Lonnie Hanover.
Could it have been anything else?
Absolutely not.
Could it have been anything else? I love the fact that a strip club has a spokesman.
By the way, we don't have a spokesman.
I don't think Earwolf has a spokesman.
Rob Delaney, who is far more famous than
He
all
should
of us.
have a spokesman.
He does not have a spokesman
He's his
or
own-
woman
Yes.
on staff. And yet Rick's Cabaret has a spokesman on staff to handle stuff like this. I'm hoping the spokesman is the same midget in the top hat who barks outside the thing and hands out free flyers. That's what I'm hoping it is.
It could be. We'd be lucky if it was.
Or at the very least, the guy who mops the bathroom floors. Multitask. Give him a couple of jobs. Let
Yeah.
him wear a couple of hats.
Let him feel like he's making his way up
He's
the
not
ladder.
mopping the women's bathroom because there is no women's bathroom in a strip club.
That's the employee's bathroom.
That's just the employee's bathroom.
They need to go through the kitchen.
Woman's
to get
getting there. She's going to have to go to the,
Go through the kitchen.
So Lonnie Hanover, who was at the club when the Giants-Eagles game was on this past last Sunday, and the Giants were up 21-19 in the third quarter, Hanover said the club was busy.
Okay. Then the Eagles scored 17 unanswered points in the fourth quarter, and then Hanover said the place just got sad.
Got sad.
The place got sad.
It's a strip club on a Sunday. Dudes are there because they either can't make plans with any friends on a weekend day,
Or they don't want to spend any time with their families.
or they're in the mob, which could be both.
I'm going to challenge Hanover on this point and say that things didn't go from good to sad, good to bad, happy to sad. It went from sad to terminal.
From depressed to suicidal.
From suicidal to homicidal.
And from homicidal to Jacksonville Jaguars season ticket holders, which you already mentioned before.
Sure.
About the only thing worse to do in this instance would have been to turn on the lights at Rick's Cabaret.
Like, that's the moment when it really gets sad.
Start a vacuum cleaner in the champagne room. You know what I mean? Have the women cash out their ones while customers are still there.
Show C-SPAN coverage
Of the government shutdown.
That would be great.
Make the women wear snow pants. Any of these things
would have made it turn sad.
One of the women working in the club said that she definitely notices a difference in Giants fans' mood after the game. She said, I've been showing off my 34 Ds and getting compliments all the time, except right after Giants games.
Well, you know what? Maybe they're not that good.
Maybe they're not as good as you think they are.
Miss
Yeah.
Double D. Why don't you go double D?
Should have gotten double Ds. No, you can't. That's something you can't
Single
cut
D
through
is
with
something
a
you see on the street.
Yep. Double Ds withstand
special.
Double Ds withstand the crushing blow of a Giants winless first 5 or 6 games of the season.
That's right.
Double Ds make you forget stuff about that. Double Ds are like a hypnotic things with going back and forth. It's like a hypnotizer.
Yeah, I feel like at this point, if you're a Giants fan and you're at a strip club during a Giants game, you're clearly trying to block out the Giants.
Or at least make sure that the day isn't a total loss.
Yeah.
Eli throws another pick, but there's a woman sitting on my...
Don't say it.
I won't say it.
Don't you dare say it.
No more Ahmad Bradshaw. I just had a rack on my jaw.
All right, stop.
Tom Coughlin totally lost his ability to coach down the wire. Doesn't matter. I just got to listen to the entire canon of Billy Squire.
Oh! Wait, who are you? You're like...
I'm like the...
and 3 more things that rhyme.
And 8 more things that kind of rhyme.
But here's the thing. They didn't say they were taking the TVs down. They just said they're not playing Giants games anymore. So what I say is, look, you got TVs there.
Yeah.
Put something on.
Yep.
May we make a few suggestions? Rick's Cabaret Strip
Go for
Club.
it, Jay.
Antiques Roadshow.
Love
It's
it.
Fun.
It's
a little educational.
You
Keep
learn
people
about
around to see what the stuff is worth.
Pottery.
It was the original Pawn Stars.
Thank
we
you.
know.
We get it.
How about a little Watch What Happens Live?
There you go.
Andy Cohn is so hard to watch that it will actually force dudes to focus on the strippers.
He is impossible.
Those are 2 options right there.
There you go. Drive him back.
Drive him back, drive him down. That's it. Segment 1 in the books.
Segment 1 down, and Rob Delaney is here. He fought
He's
the
in
traffic.
House. He's in the house.
He fought some wicked traffic coming this way from Santa Monica. We're
We're going to down these pretzels.
Honey pretzels. We're going to take a break. When we come back, we're going to talk about his book. We're going to talk about Twitter, life as a dad. And then I want to talk about him, like, every time if he sees the national anthem, does he wish it was out here? He was out there the one singing it himself.
Yeah.
We'll find out. And then later in the show, Bruce Jenner. This is Sklarbro Country. This is episode 169.
Who's this?
VPN. This is F.J. McMahon.
McMahon. It's from the 60s, right?
Yeah, from the 60s. He was this Navy guy who recorded one album.
And I love it.
This is it.
We
And
played
the name
some
of the
tracks
song-
from here. I like
this.
this.
Is the road back home. We are the Sklar Brothers, Sklarbro Country. Stay with us.
Working endlessly. The people.
All right, welcome back to Sklarbro Country, episode 169. We're here with our friend Rob Delaney. Rob, how are you, sir?
Very well, thank you.
I am so happy you made it, and isn't it like
Pleasure to be here.
It is a crushing drive to go Santa Monica to Hollywood.
I just came from Santa Monica.
Like, did you? There are times where you wonder, like, should I just get rid of my car? Like, you're in your car long enough to think about, why do we need cars?
What I do in traffic like that. And this is one of those rare examples where I was happy about where I was going to, so that sort of mitigated
that's good. Yeah, exactly.
it. But like the worst is when you're going somewhere you don't even want to go, and then you're angry that you're going to be late for a horrible destination.
Yeah. And
then I start wondering, where are these people go? Like, what horrible thing are you going to?
Yes. But you just reminded me, we are going to give you a flu shot.
Thank you.
But it's not like the professional one. We're just going to inject. I'm going to go in between
high
the toes,
levels of the
right?
flu
in between
your toes,
because that's the only space left for you. That's where we can find a vein. Is in between the toes.
Yes.
Okay,
yeah, probably.
No, but that's It's like eating someone's really bad food that they've cooked for you, and you know it's going to be coming out the other way, not in a good. It's going to hurt you the other side.
Yes.
Well, you're here, and I'm happy that you're here, and
Thanks
this is
for
kind
having
of an
me.
exciting time for you, right?
I'm in an exciting phase.
Yeah. First of all, one of the best and thickest beards I've seen. And when it's really thick, I mean, it's mountain man
Yeah,
thick.
it gets pretty thick. Right now, this is bare. This is
This
stubble.
is like, what is that? That's
like a 5 o'clock shadow.
That's a 3:30 shadow.
You shaved this morning, correct?
Well, I mean, I shaved a couple weeks ago, but the thing is now with
love that he
children,
corrected you.
Oh, really? It wasn't this morning? All right.
because you really thought it was.
Yeah.
I now with kids, I don't even set out to grow a beard. It's just like
You
if you
forget.
have little kids, you go to shave, and then one of them lights something on fire, and you
And
have
then
to
that's
run
it.
out, and so I just wake
you have
up
kids,
and have a beard. Yeah,
Kids,
plural children.
plural.
I have 2 boys.
Jesus.
Yeah, and they're both one's 2.5 and one's 8 months old.
Oh,
So
like
Sweet.
you are
Jesus.
literally in the definition of the soup. I mean,
Yeah.
it just
You're in the weeds.
There's
Yeah.
no rhyme or reason.
None.
There's none whatsoever to what goes on in your house. And there are moments probably when you get both kids down to sleep and you say to your wife or you say to yourself that I don't know how that happened. It's
Yeah.
like if you've ever been like super high after a concert, you're like, how did I drive from there to here?
I know.
You just
Well,
you don't
he's
know.
had
Same
experiences like that.
I've had those
unfortunately.
too.
Yes.
No, it's true though, and it's funny because when you're in it, it happens. Because if you don't perform at an even just marginally good level, your kids will die.
Yes,
So
yes.
if you succeed at the end of the day,
They just have lived.
Yeah, it's just like it's such a war zone that at the end you're like, whoa, what happened? And so you
No,
kinda,
your reward is you get to wake up and do it again.
you get to do it again. And so it's funny because you forget when you're in it. You're like, oh, this is what life is. And then you talk to other people, especially people who have older kids,
Yes,
and they're like, how do you? Oh my God! They're like, I remember when my life was awful like that. And
Yeah.
they tell you
Or people
how-
who don't have kids. And they're like, I was at brunch for 2 hours today.
No, I
And
don't
you're like,
care what
"Why
they
don't
think
you-
or
I
feel.
don't care what they feel.
Yeah.
You just don't care.
No, it doesn't
Does
matter.
has it made you more insightful of just a commenter on life and a stand-up and whatnot, or has it opened you in ways that you didn't expect? Because I hear that too.
I mean, obviously, we're talking about how difficult it is right now. I would do it all again in a second,
Right,
and
yeah.
my wife and I are talking about having a third.
What?
Here's why.
I'm going to stop that talk right now. Can we put an end to that
Yeah.
talk right
Yes.
now?
Here's the
we
thing:
can.
we want to wait until the second one is at least 3 years old because we need them to not be helpless. Because the way that they are now, we are very nice to the children because your love for your children is unconditional.
Yeah.
Your love for your spouse, however, is highly conditional.
Oh, it's so conditional.
So,
What love for your spouse?
Yeah. So just because you give it all to your kids, and then at the end of the day, if your spouse is like, I have a want or a feeling, you're like,
Shut up!
Yeah, I don't care.
How dare you?
Yeah,
How
I
dare
know.
you?
You're like, I get that it's okay that you have it,
Yeah.
but don't bring it here.
Yeah, you got it.
Yeah, but
Great.
Tell
Tell it to
somebody
the
else.
pillow.
Exactly. So
It's
we
like
want to.
we were talking to we met. Have you ever met Phil Hendry?
No, I
Fantastic.
love him, but I've never
huge
met him.
fan. We met him. We did the live
He did
show.
He did our live show, which is going to be available here on Earwolf. which you
And
mentioned.
Right on.
he said his mom. I was talking about his mom because he does a little character. Not a little character, but
does a few.
Does a few little characters, but he does a character called it's Bobby something or other.
Dooley?
Bobby
Bobby
Dooley,
Dooley, correct.
who is really based on his mom, and the aggressive way with which she, like, if you say something like it's really hard, it's like, give me one statement about your kids, of just about how hard it is to wake up with them.
Oh, they're just driving me nuts. I mean, you barely. Can I?
Like looking at
she'll
your
shut you down.
She'll
with, like,
shut you
no-
down with an
with no
affirmative
vowels, all M's.
with an affirmative thing. That's what you kind of do to your spouse at the end of the night. Just like,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
So anyway, I was just wondering if you could go down and get me some water.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Yep. That's
And
what
you
we're
don't fault. Like, I love my wife. She's an amazing, wonderful, beautiful, dynamic, intelligent woman. But at the end of the day, I don't care. Get away from me. Don't even touch me.
That's right.
Not.
Yeah.
Don't touch me. As a man,
Yeah.
don't touch me.
Yeah, no.
I can't be touched.
Yeah.
Well, what about the road? Now, is it crazy to hit the road and do shows and like
You know,
be
it's
away?
sort of weird because despite all the complaining that I'm doing and will continue to do,
Yeah, thanks.
when I'm away from them, it's physically painful.
Right.
You know, so then you get away. So I'm like, oh, if I could just get away, and then you get away, and your wife texts you a picture of your kid, you know, like using a potty, and you just start weeping, and like, you know, you'll hug a roadie backstage.
Yeah, you're like, what? This guy's never shown any affection towards me.
I don't know why I said
whatsoever.
roadie because
you
it's
have
not.
You do make it sound like you're.
We don't have roadies.
You're
but
not
I mean
playing
to say,
any
Well,
instrument.
when
no,
Bon
no, no.
Jovi opens for you guys.
Yeah, when Bon Jovi, when
For you
Richie's
guys,
Sephora.
it's just
Just
one
him.
of him.
Well, Richie and I, we have a lot of guitars. No, he is. I mean, somebody like, I don't know, a stagehand. He's
Yeah.
he's not technically a roadie.
Even
but
that, you've outdone comedy clubs. You're no longer in comedy because comedy
There's
clubs.
a stage.
There's a stage.
There's no stagehand at a comedy
There's
club.
nobody who's like,
All right,
hey,
I'm
is
hugging
this...
a waitress. I'm trying to dress it up.
All right, hugging a night manager. I love it. Has it dominated your material now? More stuff about kids or no?
No, yes, yeah. I mean, I guess
You write
maybe
what you know, you
50%. I start to talk about, usually when I start a show, I talk about things that are not important at all, just to get into it with
But
it.
I think that's what people have come to expect about your observations about life. Kind of.
Is a lot of it that been born out of tweets that you've done? A lot of your newest material, or is it?
Honestly, no, because thank Christ I started doing stand-up, you know, and was doing it for years before I started tweeting. And so
We
I
know
was already
that.
sort of a story-based kind of a guy. Now my stand-up is more, I would say, punctuated. Like, it's easier for me to, if I'm telling a long story, like, be like, oh, I know. Why don't I throw in a few punchlines
Yeah,
here?
exactly.
Things that elicit
That helps.
actual laughter.
Yeah.
So that's easier to do
What a novel idea.
now, you know, and maybe, like, play with language in a funny way. I feel like I understand, like, individual words better.
It is. Twitter forces you to get to that place.
Yeah.
In a better and a quicker way.
Yeah.
Which I think is just obviously it's invaluable on the road. And
Yeah,
whatnot.
it's pretty good.
But you are doing venues and whatnot that aren't necessarily comedy clubs, so I think people maybe have a little more patience with that sort of a thing.
Maybe, though that said, it's so funny. Like, there's no stand-up experience that you don't get better at. And it's great to do a big place where people have come specifically to see you, but you don't get as better as when you're, like, thrown on stage and somewhere
you
where
gotta go.
So,
You have to earn it. And
So I still love. It just is so vital to just get out there where people are like, "Who's this jerk?" You
Yeah,
know. And then I love that. Makes
people
me so
say that about
happy.
Jason a lot.
All the time.
So I'm
I thought
constantly
they were
having-
just going to see Randy.
Yep.
Yeah, yeah.
People are a lot of
Who's
people
this
come
jerk?
out to see me
Yeah.
and say, "What? Well, I thought it was
Yeah.
just going to be."
Well,
yeah,
give him a
I'm
chance.
here.
Give him a chance.
I'm here.
I've given him a chance for a
here.
long time. And you just wrote a book, which I'm so excited for you and
I
happy.
did write a
It's
book.
going to be out November 5th, which
Yeah.
you can pre-order it now. Go through our Amazon link if you
That'd be
want.
great.
There's the Amazon link on the Earwolf on the Sklarbro Country page. Pre-order that bad boy. The name of the book is
Rob Delaney, mother, wife, sister, human, warrior, falcon, yardstick, turban, cabbage.
I love it all.
Yeah.
Every
love it
single
all.
one of those.
Was there
Is that 140
Was
characters?
there an editor who was just like, "Do we have to say this one?"
Are you ready for this?
I am so ready.
Okay,
to me.
I wrote that title, but it was a joke, and the editor and publisher of this book, a woman named Julie Grau, who's a saintly, unbelievable person, she was like, "No, that's the name of your book. I looked at a bunch of your jokes. That's what you're calling it." And I was like, "That's a little wordy." And she's like, "Shut up. I gave you the book deal.
That's great.
That's
So
what you're calling it."
there was no.
yeah,
They went
like,
the other way. They had to convince you.
I had ideas, and she'd be like, "That's not
What was an
bad."
idea?
Yeah.
Can you remember any ideas that you had that they didn't use?
Ideas that I remember. Okay, one time I thought, what if we called it? Literally, I was like, how about we call it boob liker? And she's like, no, can't
Nope.
call it that. I said Rob Delaney, the Sorcerer's Stone. She said, no, that's.
I gotta love that one.
She's like, can't do that.
What if it was Sorcerer's Stones? I
That'd be
bet you
funny.
could have.
You
I
probably
bet you
could
could have
have.
done that.
But I do like this one better.
Those are two that I remember off the top of my head. But yeah, this was I was like, that's a lot of words, and she said, well, it's also the title of the book, so suck it up, buddy.
Suck
love
it
it.
up, Buttercup.
And now I'm glad that it is the title because it's so
It's just
ridiculous.
so
It's
bizarre.
so weird and
Yeah.
it's so great, and you find something new
I
every
just like
time.
I'm reading it on the spine of the book. It looks so funny on the
Yeah.
side.
And
of the book.
after each word is a period.
Sure is, yeah. You take a
And-
breath.
Take a
Yeah.
breath.
Take a
Take a
beat.
break.
Take a beat.
Think turban before you get
and
to
in the book,
cabbage.
when I pre-order this book and I flip through it, what am I going to see?
when you pre-order and flip it. You're basically it's a memoir. It's an autobiographical memoir collection.
And you have
of
had a
essays.
crazy life as well.
I
in
mean,
terms-
crazy as anybody. There were a few dramatic things, I guess, that punctuate it. But I just don't want to not say this. The fact that it has turban in it, I noticed today when I was on its Amazon page that at the bottom it says customers who viewed this also viewed, and then there's 3 types of things in a row called cancer turbans, which are for people who are losing their hair and would like to wear a turban. I thought you would just say I'd like a turban, but apparently you can get a specific cancer turban.
This is not going to be. There are no stories.
Yeah,
about
if you order a cancer turban and this comes in the mail, I sincerely apologize.
Yeah,
I'll
sorry.
come to your home and give you a cancer turban.
Apologize
and take the book
for
back.
that.
And
Yes.
you'll apologize for that. I'm so sorry.
I would have
about
thought you were about to say that because it has turban, a lot of people read anti,
Like the handheld-
xenophobic
like
groups
the
were like, don't
handhold-
buy this.
that. Yeah,
that'd be
how to
funny.
make a biological weapon, or the handheld Quran, or
Yeah, good
something like
point.
that. Just people ordering these sorts of things,
Yeah.
or mosques,
Enriching uranium.
Yeah,
wouldn't
or
that be
mosques and things. You
Yeah.
know, like, I don't know, like other books, like Dome of the, I don't know.
Totally.
I can't remember. But I mean, if that were the case,
Dome of the rock and roll.
but it is kind of funny when I always look and see like what other people have bought aside
Yeah.
from like our CD, like what are other people doing? And when it's people that I like, I'm like, yeah.
Yeah,
Yes,
totally.
If
look
it's
at
something
what-
that I don't like, I'm like, really? Really? Kind of, hey, I don't know if you're thinking of us in the right way, and I kind of want to yell at people, but you
Yeah.
can't.
Because you say thank you for getting it.
You say
Yeah,
thank you very
precisely.
much. Now, baseball season, are you a Sox fan or no?
Yeah, I mean, I grew up there, and so
You've sung the national anthem there. We spoke with it.
3 or 4 times.
That's ridiculous.
It's so ridiculous.
It's ridiculous.
You mentioned it last time you were here, and I'm trying to say, did you ever forget the words while you were doing it?
I
No.
never did.
Did they have them in front of you?
Google
no,
Eye?
in at Fenway they don't. It's interesting because I've done it a few times at Fenway and a few times at Dodger Stadium.
He's done it out here. I was right.
Yeah.
You were right.
At Fenway, you are decades in the past. Their PA system is like powered by rats on a treadmill. I mean, you hear the echo.
So you don't have anything in your ear, right?
I learned after the first time to put earplugs in my ears so that I wouldn't have to compete with my own echo because
Yeah.
that would made it very difficult. But then when you do it at Dodger Stadium, monitors in your ear, you have an accompanist playing the organ in a key of your choice, and only you can hear her.
Yeah.
It's amazing. So
Barbara Streisand is singing
Yeah, along
some
with
form
you.
of harmony that the crowd never hears.
Precisely.
Right. You just hear it yourself.
Only
Like,
you
that's
can
fun.
hear Barbara.
She's
You
actually
benefit.
taking a back seat to you
Yes,
for the
that's
first
so
time in her
weird.
life. I think that's
Yeah.
amazing.
Yes.
yeah, well, she's never been hungry for the limelight.
She-
so-
which is really
no.
nice. She is one
And
of
then
the
you
most
did two
generous.
scenes. You did 2 scenes from Funny Girl
Yeah, I did a couple of those.
in the 7th inning stretch, which
Yeah.
I thought that was weird, and I thought the
Not
crowd
mic'd.
Not
which
mic'd.
again I
Surprised.
thought is so weird.
Yeah, but a lot of guys cried when I did that. Which
Look, hey, it's Dodger Stadium. You never know what could happen there. You know what I love?
What if the Dodgers play the Red Sox in the World Series? You would have to sing the national anthem 'cause
in
you've done
both
it
locations?
Oh my God! I was asked to sing it for that happening in interleague play earlier this year, but I was in somewhere else and I couldn't do it. I was
Who
so
is
bummed.
asking you over and over to do this? There are boys and girls clubs that are getting shunned because of you.
I know.
You
Well,
know that.
here's the
All
thing.
right.
There's, as you know, there's 182 games a year.
162, but you added 20. That's fine.
That's because I love it. I wish
Playoffs,
there were
playoffs. You're thinking
Yeah.
that.
more. No, you're right because it's 8. Yeah. But anyway,
no, he's thinking playoffs.
That was maybe one of the best things ever said on a sports podcast. As you know, there are 182 games in this baseball season.
really laying down
There
the law.
actually, if you go all the way and all your series go
Yeah.
all the way, there is
Just
181.
under
There's
that.
181. You can play
If you go a 5-game series, a 7-game series, and
Yeah.
a 7-game series, you,
and if you played the one-game
play-in,
play-in,
there is 182.
Yes,
You're right.
As you know.
As we know,
Sorry, we stand corrected.
we stand corrected.
182 games.
Well, no, it's sort of akin to that. Major League Baseball had me take over their Twitter account a few months ago.
That's great.
And just, some young social media hotshot was like, I have an idea.
Yeah.
Why don't we have this clown?
Yeah.
And it was funny because I just sat there and I wrote jokes. I prepared no jokes beforehand.
Right.
And I just, in real time, just wrote jokes throughout the day. And they were so weird and bizarre.
Were they
that-
angry or did they love it?
No, the MLB themselves, I think, are glad that they did it, but the response was like 50%, hey, this is great, and 50%, what's this guy do? Goddamn stop.
Get him out of here.
It's not funny. and that made me happy.
Of course, if you want to be in that
You
area,
want a
where you're
reaction.
upsetting these people and making these people happy.
That's right.
That's so cool that they asked you to do that. But I mean, to
Well,
me,
would you still get nervous doing it? You've done it enough times now where going out
you
there.
could be the
absolutely.
person they call if the Dodgers play.
That'd be
I'm telling
insane.
you.
You
Oh
need
my
to get on
God.
that. You need to get on that so you can get
I'll let
into a
him
game.
know. Well, because I think even when you get to any sort of championship, even like at the wild card
Well,
game,
no,
they
I think
probably-
they're going to go for like big singers.
Yeah,
at
yeah,
that
exactly.
point. Like
I
Steven
don't know.
Tyler.
I
Yeah.
don't know.
Steven Tyler's always asked.
Stevie
to do-
Nicks and Rob Delaney. That would
I
be
was
great.
listening-
Would you do a duet with Stevie Nicks?
Oh, of course, yeah, absolutely, absolutely.
No.
You're like, it depends what version.
What do we do?
It's funny we were
Landslide?
talking about being too tired to do anything after our kids go to bed, and Steven Tyler, who you just mentioned, I was listening to some new Aerosmith song on the radio today, and it wasn't good, and he was singing about like being all horny, and I was like, you're manufacturing that.
Yeah, no, he's
sentiment.
not horny at this
Yeah,
point.
it was just weird.
I saw a picture of his toes. He was wearing like a sandal, and one toe was like
Under
so
another.
far over across another. It looked like another person's foot had been photoshopped in.
Oh, that's funny.
And that toe was like, I was like, at this point, don't ever wear open-toed shoes.
No, but at this point, he has become Carly Simon, right? They're the same person.
You
when
know,
you put
I've
them right
seen-
next
I
to each
saw her in person in Massachusetts because she lives in Massachusetts a few years ago. She looked pretty good. I would say she looked
Where did you see her? Shopping?
at a nightclub on Martha's Vineyard.
Yeah.
What was she doing at a nightclub? Just hanging out? Bottle service?
She had a son with James Taylor.
Sure. That's right.
And he was playing. Her son's band was playing, and so she came and she was dancing. And
I imagine she was wearing a very.
Let me guess, it was all white?
earthy,
Earthy?
flowy.
No, I was gonna say like a pantsuit, but like very high
One
waisted.
of those things where, like, you when you get up closer, you're like, oh, those are pants.
Yeah, yes, yeah.
You
I
think
can't
it's
tell,
a
but
skirt
yeah.
for an hour, and then you're like, wait a minute. You get
those
close
are-
enough, you're like, oh, there's a
Like,
little V there.
like
Those
the
are
word
pants.
palazzo pants was probably thrown around her house.
My dad listened to so much Carly Simon when we were kids. I remember he had the
course he did.
he had the Working Girl soundtrack, which, by the way, was wall to wall Carly Simon songs.
Almost too much Carly Simon.
Yeah. It was like your dad,
The
not
working
your
mom?
Oh, my dad! My dad thinks that "Heaven Is a Place on Earth" by Belinda Carlisle is
Yeah.
like whenever it would come on the radio, he'd be like, "Everybody, shut up!"
So he employed like a great Santini father hard hand, but
Online
with
to
that
all
song.
to female vocalists.
Female vocalists and stuff like that. I mean, how far?
Do you want me to smack you across the face? Susanna Haas is on the radio right now. I'll smack everyone in this. I'll turn this goddamn car
Jane
around.
Weedland's solo project is on. I will come. I literally will stop this car and kick you kids.
I'll take
out
you
of
all
it.
home. I'll take you all home. I don't give a
So
shit.
I can listen to
You
this.
shit on the embankment while I listen.
What did your dad do? What was his...
At that time, he worked in insurance, and he unwound with easy listening.
Hey man,
women.
our dad had like a Donna
Hey,
Summer.
Helen
album.
ready. I'm ready to get back there and kick the shit out of every one of you kids.
I am father here. Me roar.
Oh, I'm hot right now.
Our dad had a Donna Summer album that we could not explain. It's like
To this day.
it's one of those things that like if we were defense lawyers, you know, like there's that one piece of
Yeah.
evidence that you're like we can't like.
Look,
I'd like to give you. I'd like to
Yeah.
explain it away, but we cannot explain the Donna Summer album. It was like I was like his dad never showed any inkling.
No.
My only thing is that maybe he thought she was hot.
I don't know.
Which I'm like, I get
can't-
that.
I can't even go
I get
there.
that, but again, it was like the Donna Summer.
MacArthur Park, I think, was on that.
MacArthur Park was on there.
Which now that you know MacArthur Park here in L.A., you're like,
Really?
it's an interesting song.
because I can't imagine MacArthur
Like
Park
anyone
was
bringing
better.
a cake, anyone bringing a cake to MacArthur Park, like that's your first mistake.
Yeah.
Under what? All right, so you left the cake out in the rain. Yeah, because you were about to get jumped by like 4 crack addicts.
Like at what point when the song came out? Unless you're singing about a bygone era in MacArthur Park of like the 40s,
it just seems like
I can't
a weird-
imagine the 70s were much better in downtown
Yeah.
LA.
People are going to leave cakes out in the rain because no one should be celebrating anything at MacArthur
long have
Park.
you been in it?
You
How
celebrate
long-
40 years sober, maybe in MacArthur Park.
Yeah.
But that's just it.
Yeah.
You
But
can't
you
do
would-
anything else
With an armed escort.
with armed escorts.
This is the place where I saw that person die. Let's have a cake about it. I mean, like you just can't even. How long have you been in LA?
12 years.
12 years.
Yeah.
Came from New York, Boston.
Yeah,
or-
I grew up in Boston, was in New York for 6 years, and then came here.
Very similar to us. We were in New York for 5
Are you
years.
going to tour for this book?
Yeah, I am.
And do
it'll-
stand-up or just be at bookstores?
It'll be, I
and
think, a
stuff?
combo. I'm gonna do it like at theaters presented by bookstores. So here I'll do it at the New Beverly in New York, the Powerhouse Arena, which sounds
That sounds
I think-
so big.
Doesn't that sound insane? I
How
think
big
it
is the
actually
150
isn't.
seats. No.
No, yeah,
It's a black box theater.
I think like 400 people can fit there.
That's great.
Powerhouse. That's amazing. I would love for you to do a tour in bookstores, but heavy pyro.
That'd be awesome.
Just tons of like a middle of the day Barnes and Noble, just sick. They're like, there's so much pyro on this book tour.
Yeah.
I'm just picking up Sue Grafton books and throwing them at
You know,
people's
I've
faces.
blown the entire advance on pyro just for this book tour, and it's not bringing in more people. I know. I love it.
Was it easier or more difficult to write the book than other work and stuff that you've done? Stand up, writing for shows.
It was the hardest creative endeavor I've ever done by quite a lot.
Because why? Because it's so personal?
Not because it's so personal, but because when we tell jokes on stage, people have a variation on two responses. Hey, that was great, or get off stage, you jerk.
Sure.
And I've grown accustomed to that. So writing, it was quite lonely for me. The first draft, I really didn't enjoy the process. I did the best that I could, and I wrote a lot, and it took a long time. But when I finally gave it to the publisher and editor, and they went over it and then gave it back to me with notes like, hey, maybe you should address this thread that you totally abandoned, or hey, I have a question about this, or maybe link these two things, then I enjoyed it a lot.
Because they gave you a roadmap with which to do that.
Because you're in a vacuum otherwise.
Yeah,
without it.
and I don't like being in a vacuum. So
Could they have ever given you a note about your life? Like, hey, maybe don't act this way. What if you got that note from there? Hey,
That'd be amazing.
Hey, maybe be a little nicer to your wife.
The number of times you've done this suggests that, yeah.
You have got a real problem with authority.
Yeah, we don't have the money for an intervention, but I'm just telling you to stop.
I was giving
let
you
you know.
some. These are notes on what you've written. These are notes on the way you should live the rest of your life. That would be an incredible editor, a
That'd be
life
amazing.
editor.
Life editor.
amazing.
We need that.
I need a life editor.
So do I.
Should we take a break?
Yeah, let's take a break because I could talk to you forever, but that's what we're going to do.
We're going to take a break. Go ahead.
Please.
This is Craft Spells Burst Gallery.
I don't understand anything you just said. I just
Nor
know
do
that
I.
like the song.
All I know it's an EP. This is very Sklarbro Country-esque. We've got Rob Delaney here, and he's going to do some quick hits with us. We got some great, crazy stories that you will chime in with. This is Sklarbro Country. It's 169. It's a live VPN show. Thank you to those who are out there. Hold up the book so that people can see it. It's Rob Delaney. My favorite one in there is Falcon.
Yeah.
Because that's exactly the way I would describe him. He's a
comedy falcon.
He
He swoops in, nails it, and gets out.
He's as much a falcon as he is a cabbage. We have the Sklar brothers. We'll be back, Sklarbro Country, after this. Welcome back to Sklarbro Country VPN. Thank you to those people who are watching this live on YouTube.
I just got a text from my buddy Eric who said, watching your interview with Rob Delaney while driving, extremely dangerous, but worth it. You know what? It is worth it. You got two kids. Watch this.
Yeah.
Just don't watch the road,
Don't
Eric.
watch the road. You're
Thanks,
fine.
buddy.
Just stay far enough behind where it
Yeah.
actually works.
If you
Hey,
make a mistake, that you're the only one who gets injured.
if you don't follow Rob Delaney on Twitter and you're on Twitter right now, I don't know what you're doing. It's at Rob Delaney, DELANEY.
He needs followers.
He does. He needs to get
Thank
to 1
you.
million. We're going to get him to 1
Thank
million,
you.
guys. And if you have a question for Rob, we're going to try this because we've never done this through the show right now.
Tweet at us.
We are at Sklar Brothers. Tweet at us, and if you have a question for us or Rob, we'll keep refreshing through quick hits as we do this, and we'll ask him whatever questions we do. Cody, this is Cody Scully on the zeros and ones.
Yes.
He's got some music coming up right now.
Quick hit music
It's the
is what
quick
it's
hit
at.
jams. Now, if you are a football center, I don't know, are you a football fan at all or no? Not as much.
I don't know a lot about it.
But you understand who the center is, the guy who snaps the ball to the quarterback.
You spend most of your time on the field with another man's hands.
Gently caressing your taint.
Just
I mean,
literally-
that's just a given, right?
You can go either one of two directions if you're that person. Number one, you can become very sensitive to gay rights.
Okay.
Because you're like, look,
hey,
I get it.
I've been there on.
There are
some-
times where I'll pop a Woody, and I don't know why, but
Some
I'm
level.
sensitive to you now.
you
I
get,
it.
or you're,
or you just say it's a continuum.
Yeah.
You go that way.
Yeah.
or you get scared of how comfortable you become, and suddenly you need to throw. Like your confusion sends you into a way
You
where
want to fight that feeling. You become a world-class homophobe.
who has to apologize to a university's marching band.
That is exactly what happened to Detroit Lions center Dominic Raiola. Mm-hmm. Did I say that right? Mm-hmm. Apparently, before the game with the Packers, several band members were verbally abused assaulted by a Lions player, Raiola.
Oof.
Right? Is this a scene out of Revenge of the Nerds?
Seriously.
Right? Ogre just yelling at nerds?
Yeah.
I mean,
or not at nerds, but just at band members calling them fags.
Which,
just
by the
because they can actually play music.
That's so hacky. Short of yelling nerds at them, it's already been done. This guy's the epitome of a dumb jock.
This is the reason why people don't like sports.
This is the reason why people who don't like sports say, this is why I don't like sports.
Exactly.
This guy.
And I have a new theory that I've kind of been working on the last couple of weeks thinking about, and it's that guys who are homophobic, it doesn't mean that they want to be gay, but I do think that they want to have some kind of intimacy with their male friends that isn't sex, but they just want to be like, I really love my friends.
Yeah,
And they are afraid to say even
That's right.
that.
That's
It's so
right.
ridiculous.
Or the slippery slope that they feel it's going to lead to.
There's no slope.
There is no slope.
According to some of the band members, he called the tuba players fat bleeps.
Fat fucks, whatever he wanted to say, but he called them something bad. Which
Part of me wishes that he called them bleeps. That
That's
actually would have
funny.
been better. Hey, you fat bleeps.
I think that's funny. And then he was heard saying, "Hey, fat guy, you want a hot dog?" Which, if dissected, bless you, in certain circles, hey, fat guy, you want a hot dog?
Sounds like
he's
a gay-
offering up his own penis.
I think
Sounds like a gay
so.
sexual
Sort of a gay
proposition.
sexual proposition.
Again, I know what he was going
Who's gay
for.
now, Raiola?
Yeah, seriously.
In some way, it sounds like that's what he was doing now. And I love that this asshole had to apologize publicly to the band.
And the team apologized on his behalf, too. They said in a statement that reports of what Raiola said were, quote, extremely inconsistent with the standard of behavior we expect from our players. They are aware that they have Ndamukong Suh on their team.
Yeah, this
as
is
well,
the guy who
stepped on someone's neck.
Stepped on someone's neck and
Jesus.
took a BB gun and went to
Shot
go
the cable
shoot
man.
at the cable guy because he heard a rustling in his
By the
tree.
way, so many DirecTV and everyone and Time Warner, everyone screwed up my cable so much. I get that right now.
You want to take
I'm in a
something.
moment where I want to take a BB gun to a lot of people.
By the
right
way,
now.
it's gotten so bad, and I guess whatever he said was so bad that another teammate apologized to the band.
on his behalf.
Louis Delmas added that he enjoyed their performance.
I love that.
Aw,
Now, that's
that was
cool,
nice.
right?
Sweet.
That dude's the best. I love that guy.
Because
right?
he didn't just say
He's actually-
that's wrong what my buddy said.
He's making this guy
Yeah.
seem worse.
Look terrible.
Making Raiola seem
Well
worse.
done.
Lions coach Jim Schwartz claimed that he didn't hear any of the comments from the field.
which is total bullshit.
Total bullshit.
That's what, like, he's trying to plant the seeds of doubt as to whether or not
we
it
didn't
happened.
hear.
Well, I mean, he may have done it, but I didn't.
I
hear
didn't
it.
hear it. I mean, I saw him walk over there.
That's
but
like homophobe enabler
Yeah,
101,
yeah,
right?
that's right.
Okay, thank you.
So he has to pay fines 2 other times for inappropriate. He's had
This
to.
guy.
Raiola, right?
Yeah,
So-
if you have any questions as to whether he did it or not, 2 other times for inappropriate behavior towards fans. One for giving fans a middle finger
at Ford Field.
at Ford Field.
That's his home
Wow.
field.
That's
His
where the
home field.
Detroit plays. Like, how many people did you flick off when you sang the national anthem?
Not too many.
Not
Just
too
a
many.
few. I rarely do that.
Just an old lady in the front
Yeah,
because
yeah,
she was
yeah.
looking at you sideways.
And then someone didn't take their hat off. And
Yeah.
you took umbrage
Yeah,
to that.
you know,
and
you
you're
gotta
like,
take
hey,
the hat off.
You gotta
take the hat
All
off.
right, fine. It was a baby, and you know what? Sometimes babies need to know. I don't
Yeah.
care if you're
You-
losing heat through your
By the
soft
way,
spot.
you
Boom.
teach them young. You teach them young.
Right.
Another time he gave for giving Miami fans a vulgar directive after the Lions.
Can you
beat
guess
them.
what the vulgar directive is?
Yes, I can.
I think you can.
Yeah, exactly.
That's a directive,
Go
right?
F yourself.
Yes.
That's the directive right there.
I get giving a vulgar directive after losing. He did that after they won.
That's a douchebag.
This is it. It's on him,
If
right?
somebody tells you to go fuck yourself, you should openly masturbate to completion in front of them. And then thank
Say
them.
you're
Thank you.
I needed that.
Oh God, stress
It's like
gone.
it's a huge tension release.
Thanks,
I appreciate
buddy.
that. Now, correct me if I'm wrong, but calling timeout and then climbing out of the octagon in the middle of an MMA match, that is not celebrated in the world of MMA.
Generally,
am I right?
no.
No,
That
no,
is
you
not a
don't.
good. Have you watched
I've
much?
not seen somebody do that.
No,
But
if
you've
you
watched MMA.
Yeah.
You've
You've
seen
seen-
MMA before. Okay, this would be frowned upon by the fighters, the fighting commissions, the fan, the guy's family.
Anyone who he's having sex with at this point.
Anybody
Yeah.
in that realm
in
would
his
not
sphere.
like that.
In his personal octagon would probably not like him climbing out of an octagon.
When you agree to be an MMA fighter, you're essentially doing an unwritten contract with your family and everybody saying, I'm agreeing to go into a
Yep.
ring and finish what I started.
I'm at peace within the octagon.
I will either get my head bashed in or I will do the bashing in, and I have to trust that this is.
Well, you're agreeing to be locked into a cage. I don't know if there's anything else aside from fake wrestling from back in the day when you
Yeah.
agree to be locked into a cage with another
Someone
human
could
being.
hammer hit your head into the ground after you've been knocked out until someone comes in and does that.
Right.
That's the unwritten rule. So in Brazil recently, when a fighter repeatedly spit his mouthpiece out so he could catch his breath between hits, this was like a tactic he was using. Finally, the referee said, you can't do that anymore. He called a TO. Got up,
timeout. People were like, "What?" I mean, it looked weirder than a hockey timeout. There are timeouts in hockey, like
Which
a hockey,
seem weird.
Hockey timeout seems like it does not seem natural. It's like everybody skates over to the benches in the middle of the game. It feels like there's like a spot behind the goal that's kind of soft, like maybe the ice is in there. You got to wake the Zamboni driver up from being drunk for whatever drunken stupid.
Because I don't think anyone who drives a Zamboni isn't wasted.
No, you
should
got to
not.
take
Have
that.
you driven a Zamboni at a hockey game?
Well, drunk.
Okay, there you go. So
Thank
you understand. Bruins
Yes.
game, you got to be
Yes.
drunk. So you wake that guy up out of a pool of his own vomit, and
Yes.
then you allow him to do it. That's what it feels like at a hockey time. This felt weirder
Yes.
and more
It
different.
looks
than
so weird. What's his name?
Claudine Angelo calls a TO, which doesn't exist, and then tries.
Although he's got like Angel and Cloud both in his name. He should be dead soon.
yeah, he really should. Is that a sign?
No,
Is that
no, no.
a sign that you're going?
Something ethereal.
So he calls a timeout, which you can't do. Like
Try-
you just
then he
can't do
tries
it.
to get out of the cage. Which
There's a
is
moment where he
locked.
he pulls on the bars. of the
I
cage.
didn't know they were locked. I do know now that they are locked. They are locked, by the way. So crazy people like Angelo, who had already signed on to do this thing, could not get out of it.
And then when he saw the door was acting on wasn't open, he just started climbing up over the thing and got himself out of there.
Probably drove himself home in his trunks. You know what I mean? Like,
Gloves still on.
Gloves on. You know, driving gloves. That's it. That's the way it goes.
By the way, this happened in Brazil, which is a place where I think like you could get like barbecued for that, right? You could probably get killed.
Yeah, I've heard. Yeah, that's where some things have happened. That's where the dude got shot for like scoring a wrong goal.
Oh no, that's like the wait. Was this in Brazil?
Colombia.
No. Where that was the guy in Colombia.
Oh, you're talking about
In Brazil, the referee who made the wrong call wasn't his. He was beheaded and his head put on a stake and on the field where they were.
Yeah.
I don't want to speak with authority on this, but that was definitely Brazil. But people did make bad decisions.
I also think there's a lot of stuff that goes on in Brazil that like we don't know about. Everybody's like you don't
That's a
have
fair
you don't have
statement.
a giant carnival if you're not distracting people from some bad shit that's happening down the road.
Yeah.
It's like, hey, look at this girl dancing. Like you know something crazy.
we're gonna raise like a whole neighborhood with people still in it.
You know some crazy stuff is happening down there. By the way, at the time, Angelo was leading the match. He
Wow.
was winning.
He doesn't know what he's doing.
He does not know what that's like
He-
crushing in a stand-up stage and then leaving.
He is either
20 minutes left
20
in your
minutes
set.
later. He is either what they refer to in the MMA world as a pussy.
Which I wouldn't say that. I looked at the guy and he is like tatted up and he's like
Huge.
He's jacked. Like the guy's not a pussy.
Guys in much worse shape than him have fight in
Stuck it
MMA.
out.
By the way,
Or he's just a brilliant prognosticator. We don't know. Like he's like, I know I'm gonna lose eventually.
Okay.
I know how much gas is left in this tank.
let's
I'm
skip.
done.
Let's skip to the chase.
Come on. I'll go
I'm
home.
gonna have to leave the ring after I lose anyway.
Wouldn't
so why
a
not?
clean fake feint have been better?
Yeah,
I don't
clean
know.
fake feint. That's right.
That would have been so much better.
Which,
and
by
so
the
much
way,
more respected.
might be the name of this episode.
Clean fake feint. Yes.
This guy's got things to do. He can't be traipsing around in MMA. Right? He's got bills to pay.
Kids' lunches to make. I mean, he's got a lot.
Breaking Bad to catch up on.
You don't know about kids' lunches, but you will soon in your life. You're gonna
Estimated-
be a sandwich making machine.
Estimated quarterly taxes. Those things just take a while.
They do.
He's got to go.
This was item 6 on his 22-item to-do list for that day: is climb out of a ring and finish up.
Or he's been hit so many times in the head that he does not know the rules anymore.
I think it's 3.
I'm going to say 3. I'm going
I
to say
think that's
number
it.
3.
Hit so hard that he doesn't know the rules to the thing that he's doing.
Either way,
Yeah,
I
that happens.
I see how this whole thing played out. He gets out of the ring, climbs out, goes to his dressing room where his stuff is, and it's locked. You know what I mean? So like now he goes gloves on, goes to his car. His keys are in his pants, which are in the room.
Do they have a late night bus? I mean, I'm just wondering.
I don't know.
It's
Like,
Brazil. They probably have a party bus.
Yeah, they do.
They probably have something.
Maybe he comes up like he's got to walk now. So he
Yeah,
walks home and he's
Walking fast.
walking very fast behind a
Have you
group.
ever been walking in New York City where you're walking so fast on a warm day, and when you get there, the heat then starts rising from your feet up your legs to your body?
I'm not. I don't know that I know that sensation.
It's so intense that maybe that's just me.
It might just be you. All I know is
I've experienced that
I'm
numerous
assuming
times.
he was walking behind a group of women. I like to assume that they had just come from a self-defense course,
Sure.
and they saw him as a threat, and
Oh,
all of them
yeah.
just put a beat down on him.
that would have been great.
Just
And
literally.
he couldn't even get out of that early. That's the only justice, I think, in this thing.
I
don't know.
think he then gets hit in the head so hard that he goes back to the ring.
Says, please let me in.
Please let me in, and then gets into a fight and loses.
Or
that
does a
thing.
cage dance, and that's how twerking has sort of made its way into Brazil. Isn't
maybe.
that nice? Yes?
Yeah, that makes sense.
I think it does.
Do you know you obviously sang the national anthem at Dodger Stadium. You obviously know who Steve Garvey is. You could be described at times as Garvey-esque.
Thank you.
You have Garvey hair.
You have Garvey hair.
Garvey-esque
You got great Garvey hair.
Yes.
And he's at it again. We're not talking about him hosting an E-list celebrity
pinochle tournament in a Native American reservation in western Arizona.
Although I would watch that.
The man, he did try to buy the Dodgers when Magic Johnson swooped in and got him. He tried to put together a group, which, by the way, would be the worst thing ever because his like fiscally is irresponsible.
No. If Garvey was running the Dodgers, he'd be like borrowing money from players' paychecks to pay back like nannies that he didn't pay in
like in the
1993.
1990s. Yeah, Matt
Was
Kemp.
Kurt Schilling on the group
Yeah,
they tried to put
exactly.
together?
Yes, I
Was
think
that
he was.
Studio 38.
Oh,
Yes.
man.
Was that his like
Yeah, that
video
was his-
game, or was it a video game?
In Rhode Island.
Yeah,
Yeah,
he's just
didn't
he's
quite work
suffering.
out.
He's
Yeah.
suffering. By the
Yeah.
way, I would listen to Michael Flowax if he was the play-by-play.
I
guy.
would too. I would. Waxy Lou.
Yeah, exactly. So Garvey throws out the first pitch of Game 4 when the Dodgers clinched it. He lobbied hard for that one.
Yeah.
like he told management. He started like bad mouthing some of the other guys on his team, like Ron Say.
He probably can't even walk to the mound
He
anymore.
doesn't
Ron
even.
Say.
Yeah, Rick Monday is drunk.
That's a guy's a drunk. You got to let me do this.
Garvey's at every game. Jay, you saw him.
I
down
saw him. I saw him sitting down in the really posh section where you go underneath, and they're like, it's a free buffet. You can eat whatever you want.
Well, it's not free. I mean, if you buy,
If
the
you got those
there,
tickets, yeah.
like you.
it's a buffet.
Suddenly, if you buy the tickets there, like only for people who have to spend the money that we understand it.
No,
Would
no.
take.
I was taken there by someone whose firm had tickets there. Like it's like that kind of a place. Like only
Fox
Fox Studio has seats down there, or like this agency. And I was down there and I saw Garvey, and I was literally scared that he was going to find me,
unscrew
his
his gigantic forearm
Like his forearms are insane.
and just beat you with it like a club.
Just beat me until I couldn't breathe anymore. Because
You know
of all
Garvey
the-
doesn't pay for those seats. You
No.
know he does not pay for those. He begs them.
Yes.
He's like, you got to give me those. So
And he probably
anyway,
puts food in his pockets. When
What
he leaves.
that did it. So what happened the other night is that Garvey apparently had his windshield smashed. And
his car.
he blamed angry Braves fans after the Dodgers clinched.
And by the way, we found this out by the folks at the Big Lead, which is
BigLead.com, they often have like really fun stories that we find. And thank you to those guys who threw up a little picture of Cheap Seat, Garvey on Cheap Seats, our show, and
A link to the-
whole episode on. So,
So,
thank you to those guys.
Smash windshield by angry
Braves.
Braves fans.
Yeah, I'm sure that's what happened.
You've been to Dodger Stadium.
Yeah, I haven't seen behavior like that.
Out of the visiting team.
Yeah,
So this is a stadium where Dodgers fans
passionate baseball.
almost killed a
Southerners.
Giants fan in front of his
No,
son.
they've ruined his life.
They
Yeah.
ruined his life for Brian Stowe in front of his son.
I'm sure like a couple Braves fans were like, we're going to mess shit up right now.
That's right.
Where's Garvey's car?
Well, you know Steve Garvey probably has like
He probably has a person-
Dodger 6 on the thing, you know what I mean? Like Garvey's car.
Garvey's car. That would be so funny if he had that on a personalized vanity plate.
But they found it. They found it. They
Yeah.
found it. I don't know how they found it, but they found it. And
I mean, we know that the parking lot at Dodger Stadium is like about as organized as like a Burning Man
Oh
festival.
God, it's hellacious.
You people say Dodgers fans are the worst because they don't show up at the game until the third inning
How
and they
could
leave.
you?
They're there.
Yeah,
They
yeah,
just
yeah.
can't get to their parking space or get into the stadium.
Yeah.
They're stuck.
Then Garvey tweeted out a picture of his windshield cracked the next day wherever he was. It looked like he was in Palm Springs, wherever he's calling home these days, blaming it on the Braves fan. I bet an angry neighbor bashed it in.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Or he was caught cheating on his mistress with another girl.
Right.
Yeah.
And she came over with a 9 iron.
And now
Just-
he wants someone else to pay for it to get fixed.
Or like
That's it.
Morton Downey Jr. He did it himself for some weird reason.
Did Morton Downey Jr. do his like?
I think it was strongly suggested that he drew a swastika on his own face and shaved
What?
half his head and then tried to blame it on Nazis.
fantastic. Oh, please say
a
that's
friend
true.
of ours got on to the Morton Downey Jr. show and asked him the most inane.
Our friend Jeff Goldsmith.
He asked him the most inane question I remember, and like Morton Downey Jr. came
just
back.
like stood and looked at him.
Came
from
back with the best response to him ever. He's like, I don't give a rat's snot ball
about such and
just
such.
with this bit, like, and just literally, I bet it smelled like an ashtray in the guy's face.
Oh,
give a
that
rat's
guy.
snot
Remember, he was like a thing.
Oh, it's he.
remember
know
when he
what?
was a thing?
He was ahead of his time because now I feel like he would just kill. I mean,
He would have a show on like.
Well, he
Oh,
was
yeah.
kind of like you took the anger that the audiences that Jerry Springer had,
Yeah.
and like he put it into there,
Into one-
and but almost like the 1,000,000-second quiz, like we talked about before. I kind of didn't know where he felt. I'm like,
Yeah.
yeah, he's anti-Nazi, but
Yeah.
then there's a couple other things he kind of is for that's not so great, and
Yeah.
I'm like, am I with this
Yeah,
guy
yeah,
all
yeah.
the way? I
You're
don't
like
know.
with him for a minute and then not with him
He's
at
like
all.
a guy that you're your aunt is dating and brings to the barbecue, and you're like, oh, Jesus Christ. Yeah.
Whoa.
Like, he tries
I mean,
to
I'm
get-
glad you're with someone and
Yeah.
someone's taking care of you, but whoa.
By the way, the only news to come out of the night was that Garvey's cancer is not there, so
Cancer-free?
That's
Fantastic.
good. Well, I want him to be around for a long time so we can make fun of him.
Yeah, please,
Just
Garvey,
say that about that.
live a nice, long, fruitful life. And we'll be there
I
to
do
make fun.
think Garvey should not have thrown out the first pitch. I think it should have been Earl from Toshiba.
Yes.
Earl Christensen and a hat from each person. And
Yes.
just Garvey yelling at him right next to him in just incredibly short shorts.
Like Gay Pride Parade shorts.
Gay Pride Parade shorts.
Shorts that if they were any shorter, they'd be a belt.
Shorts, if they were any higher up on him, they'd be a necklace. And shorts, if they were any shorter, a Lions center would be berating Garvey.
Yes.
That's how gay pride they are.
Yes.
And those are quick hits. Rob Delaney, your book one more time. Read all of the things from it. It is called Rob Delaney.
Mother, wife, sister, human, warrior, falcon, yardstick, turban, cabbage.
Now, if anybody like searches for any of those things, it'll pull up your book?
Yeah,
They
if you
should.
search the word mother from now on, it's me. Human, that's mine. I've patented
That's
that.
genius.
Yeah, thank you.
That's genius. All right, I'm going to pick it up. Is it available? When is it available? Now,
November 5th. You can pre-order it now, but November 5th it comes
couple
out.
weeks.
I wanted to.
Here's what I want. I want if people on this show have friends and family members who they are looking to pick up a cool little holiday gift for, go through our Amazon link on Sklarbro Country's page. It kicks a little money back to us.
Great.
Help out Rob and buy his book. You'll laugh. You'll love it.
Good luck
Your
with
friends will
everything,
dig it.
and we will follow you on Twitter as you go. And
Is he going to stick around
do
for?
you want to stick around for the Bruce Jenner call? Can you stick around for 5
Yeah,
minutes?
that'd be great. Thank
All right,
you.
all
Yeah.
right. So we'll stick around for the Bruce Jenner call. I know you're worried about where Bruce is
I
right
am.
now,
Yeah, I need
but we will call him and see where he's at. Do you have the number? Do you have a secure line?
I think I do.
Okay, we're gonna call him. This is Jenny Lewis, Acid Tongue. We are the Sklar Brothers. This is Sklarbro Country. VPN people, we see you out there.
And we're going to answer a couple questions on Twitter with
Some
Rob.
all right, we'll do that when we come right back.
They make love with the lights on.
All right, welcome back to Sklarbro Country, episode 169. We're here with Rob Delaney, who had mentioned that he has done something that we really want to do, and we've said this out
Well,
there.
he just sold a pilot to BBC, to Channel 4 in England, right? Correct? Can we say that? Can we mention it?
No, you cannot. You are not allowed to say
know
that.
what
I'm mentioning it.
Whatever.
God damn, sorry.
Whatever. He's been over in England. He's performed over there, and we were kind of talking about changing your act for the English audience. And I think it's. We are always.
We get worried that we're too American centric, that we wouldn't be able to, our stuff wouldn't fly over there, and we're worried
I mean,
about
you guys are unique and you have such a great rapport, and I think that you would.
We could rely on the
It would work.
relationship that we have, and we'd
Yeah.
have to just figure out what is more general stuff
Yeah.
for us. But I think if you lay out what a concept is, even if it's something they wouldn't understand, I think like everybody knows what Disneyland is if you've got a story about that.
You know what's funny is I have a long joke about beer commercials that air during sports matches and skits over here, and it totally works over there because
Yeah.
they have sports over
Yeah,
there.
they have
So
sports
it's
over
like
there.
American football that their beer commercials are airing.
I mean,
love it.
I kind of love that like Twitter can give you an international sort of following, and podcasts very ostensibly should as well give you, like we have friends who do Walking the Room, which is a fantastic podcast.
Yeah.
They have a huge following in Australia. They can like
Yeah,
go
wow.
over there. It's just amazing that they hit over there as well. And
Yes,
so
I think a big comedian over there picked them up and sort of really exposed
kept them along.
Australia
Oh,
to.
wow.
All right, we have a couple questions. This is
and then
from
we're going to call Bruce Jenner.
at Patrick Swanson, at Rob Delaney. How does Rob feel about the rumors that his beard is my real father?
Positive.
Yeah. Well,
Positive?
Yeah, well, I'm not positive that that it is his father, but I'm
You
glad
feel
that,
you have
I'm glad
positive
that
feelings
he has
about that.
paternal love for it.
nice.
Jamie Pesak says, "What does Rob smell like?" He smells like I want to say like 86% man,
Doritos.
86% man, 14% machine.
Yeah.
That's the way I would
No,
describe
he smells
it.
good. He smells good. He smells like he doesn't sweat.
I thought you were going to say man and then boy. One of the best insults my wife ever gave me, she said, sometimes you dress like a dad and other times you dress like a boy, but you never dress like a man.
This is DTM.
What does that mean? What does she
don't
want
know.
you to wear?
I don't know.
What does she want you to wear?
I don't know what she wants.
DTMMB Media asks, Sklarbro, ask Rob Delaney if that shirt came with that beard. Oh, they
Hey.
seem complimentary.
Well, maybe that's a
Yeah,
nice.
maybe.
They are complimentary.
This shirt, I think my mom gave it to me.
Yeah.
And in a sense, she gave me this beard too. So the answer is yes.
Yeah.
Wow.
So it does
They're
come together.
complimentary.
You do it
Yeah,
all the way around.
showed you.
Let's get Bruce Jenner on the line, shall we?
Let's see. You have.
I gave you the number. He's got it. We're going to call him right now and see.
I hope we can reach him because
I hope he's doing well. I hope
he
he's
doesn't
blowing-
seem like he's at a men's shelter.
I want him to be blowing off steam. I have a zillion questions as to what he's doing. Like this to him is the victory lap. He is finally out of the you.
Yeah.
You ask what did the slaves do in Egypt, going back to the Jews in Egypt when they were freed at that point. Like what was their next move?
There's probably a lot of chaos, and that's what we're trying to capitalize
A
on.
lot of chaos, a lot of sexuality. All right. Isn't this great? It sounds like a like public transportation in Sweden,
Yeah, it does.
right? Like
Probably.
The subway. It's like cleaner than my house.
Yeah.
I'm
You
assuming
could eat off the ground.
Oh, yeah.
there's certain areas in
They
Sweden.
might not answer. If he doesn't answer, let's hang it up.
This is live, guys. This is live.
You have reached
That's not Nash.
All right. Let's try. Hang on, everybody. Hang on. Here we go. I'm going to give you the number right here. We're going to try it again. We're going to try and get him right now.
If we can.
Here we go. This is live. Way to fill it, Jay.
Fuck it. We'll do it live. Wow, you're going to blame me on that? Fuck it. We'll do it live. You know what? We might not be able to reach him. And if we can't, God damn it, we'll figure out a way.
This is live. That's the way when we do it live. We normally don't do it live.
Sure.
But you've got a VPN thing right here.
Sorry
So-
to the audience at home. We apologize. We're doing the best we can. We are doing the best we can.
If worse comes to worse, there's plenty I can say about Bruce Jenner.
Have you met Bruce Jenner?
No, I haven't met him, but I can expound on how I feel about him, and we can then all chat.
No, there was a time where I actually saw there was an ad, or not an ad, but photos in Us Weekly. This is when I had lost. I had no respect for those magazines, but now I had even less. They were talking about hot beach bodies and not beach
You
bodies.
have reached the voicemail.
and they showed hot beach body Brody Jenner. Not hot beach body Bruce Jenner. Guy's 60.
Give him a break. Yeah, decathlete. Is that what he was?
But yeah, the body's gonna decay.
Yeah, the body goes down. Your hips get wider.
Yeah.
Come on.
Your hips get wider. By the way, I'll say this in my neighborhood because it's Halloween, and I don't know if in your neighborhood people are getting ready for Halloween.
Oh, they are.
There's an old guy's house, a really old guy, a really old guy's house.
The way you said that was so sinister, and it was about the sweetest thing in the
There's
world.
a really old guy's
They
house.
are getting ready
An
for
old guy
Halloween.
in my neighborhood who's kind of been there forever. He's probably about 92. And I was walking past his house, and there was a huge cobweb that was a real cobweb by his door.
Yeah.
And he himself looks like a skeleton. And what I realized is that all the younger people in the neighborhood are just trying to make their houses and themselves look like this man.
Bruce?
Hello?
Is Bruce there? Is Bruce Jenner there?
Now, get ready. He's been off the market for 22 years. He's a former decathlete, and he's got a great set of hair and a young-looking face. Here he is, ladies, fresh off the market. It's Bruce Jenner!
Well, I think that answered that.
Yeah. How are
Thank
you?
you so much, guys. Thank you.
You have an announcer now?
I hired the announcer from the Clippers to come on down.
Oh, that's
okay,
so
that's
great. I
really
think
nice.
you hired Clipper Darrell by mistake.
That's so nice. Well, how are you? Where are you? Are you having fun? What's going on?
Guys, I'm out. Hold on. Turn down the music, guys. That was a good bit, but turn it down.
Okay.
Turn it down. All right. Guys, I'm sitting out on my Malibu mansion.
Sure.
Just looking back on my life. So happy that I have freedom. You know, Dr. King, he spoke about it.
I don't think
but I
Dr. King
never
was talking about your
truly knew
freedom.
what it meant until now.
Yes.
I don't know if we played your voicemail, and I think you got the wrong quote. Dr. King never said all we have to fear is fear itself.
No.
He said a bunch
Free
of
at last, free at last.
I'm free, Almighty God, I'm free at last. I mean,
I don't even know if that was it.
I think that's what you were feeling in that moment, right?
You can't handle the truth.
That's
never
not
said that.
Dr. Martin
Another
Luther King.
great Dr. King
No,
quote.
that was
Those
Jack
from A Few
Jack
Good Men.
Nicholas.
He
and
was
a few
long
good-
dead by then.
Jack Nicholas and a
Jack Nicklaus, the golfer, of course. I remember him well.
He was
Guys,
great in a few
the point is, I'm free and I love it. And you know what? Looking back on it, I feel great. It was only 22 years of my life.
That's you don't feel like this woman has taken a huge chunk of your life that you'll never be able to get back?
No, not at all.
Not
it's
at all.
Only a fourth of my life. Think about all the time I wasn't with her.
Yeah.
And I got a good 8 or 9 years left on this planet, and I'm gonna live it
Don't
well.
sell yourself short.
Yeah,
you may have like 12 years
You
left.
might have 10 to 12 years left.
Why? What have you heard?
We've not heard anything.
anything.
I
Not
was
heard
trying to
anything.
bump you up. You said 8 years. I wanted to give you 12 at least.
Well, I invited a bunch of people to come out here tonight, and
Who's
I'm waiting
coming
on
out?
them right now.
Who's
What's
coming
that?
out?
Who's
on
there?
the party list?
Seacrest.
Yeah,
Uh-huh,
of course.
sure.
Kathy Griffin's hairdresser.
Yes.
Oh, I was going to say.
Brody is going to stop by.
Brody
hopefully.
Stevens?
No, Brody Jenner. Brody
Brody.
Jenner is going to stop by.
Brody, my son.
Uh-huh.
Who else? Ryan's poo boy, my poo boy.
Uh-huh.
You
share a
and
pool
it's going to
boy.
be, what's that?
You share a pool boy.
Yeah. Yeah, no, we have our own. Oh, please, don't be ridiculous, Randy.
All right. Okay.
Yeah.
Sarah Pooh Boy.
right.
I'm Bruce Jenner. I'm on the Kardashians.
Okay.
so-
Well, not anymore.
Not anymore.
Not
You're
anymore.
out.
Take a step back.
Well,
What
are
do
you still
mean?
going to be on the show even though you're out of the relationship? That's my question.
Oh, wait a minute. What do you mean?
Well,
Are you
no,
still gonna
you might be off the show.
Because it's keeping up with the Kardashians, and now your name isn't really in the title of the show, and you're no longer in the family.
Oh God, guys, I didn't really put that together.
You
You're
did not think
absolutely
that.
right.
Yeah, you
Yes,
did
you're
not
not gonna
think
be on the
that
show.
through. We have the esteemed author and Twitter king Rob Delaney here with us. Rob, is there anything you want to ask Bruce Jenner? Is there anything you've been wondering about what he's sort of?
Oh, I love Rob. Hello, Rob. How are you?
Hey, Bruce, I'm well, thanks. Wish you the best in all your future endeavors. I just wondering, I know they were mentioned earlier you were in the Us Weekly for not having a good beach body, and I thought that was cruel.
Oh, that was terrible.
Yeah,
terrible
it was not
what they
nice
did
of them.
to me.
But I still
I
think
thought it said not hot and hot too.
No,
But
it's
it was
hot
actually
and not.
Hot and not. But it took me a few days, and I'm sitting going around tooting my own horn. And all of a sudden they
Right.
said, no, Bruce,
You're in
that's
the
an
not
N.
section. You're in the
yeah,
not
it said hot and hot, but the second H was an N.
So
Yeah.
that's how that worked. Oh man.
But I was just wondering, if you have workout tips for a younger guy. I'm no decathlete, but I like to run and I'll do a push-up here and there. What do you think? What could I
Oh,
do?
yeah. Well, you know what, Rob? Do you have a woman in your life?
Yeah, I'm married.
Get up, start running errands around 3 a.m., and you'll be in great shape. That's my advice.
Start running errands. At
You would say
Understood.
run errands and don't drive there. Just do it by foot.
I do everything. I jog everywhere I go, guys. I have a pedometer on my ankle, and I clock about 38 miles every day.
No, you do not do 38
I mean,
miles.
there are
Order.
moments when people see you out running your errands, and they say to themselves, "He's running from something. He's running from something."
From someone.
Where? Running from something. I usually got Running on Empty by Jackson Brown in my headphones.
Well, what are you
That's a
going to
nice
do
song.
now? I mean, are you on
you
the
gonna
market?
start
you
hitting on ladies
You going to
or
maybe start
men?
dating Paula Dean? What's going to happen?
Well, listen, there's a lot of people that want to get at the BJ, and a lot of suitors, and I'm thinking about maybe a strong woman, someone.
Well, I don't know if that's
someone,
such. I would go with someone
No?
who maybe isn't
No?
as.
Well, are
strong.
you getting a severance package, or should I say a settlement from your divorce? Is she paying you money?
Oprah has called.
Oprah
That's
has-
all I'm saying, guys.
Oprah's
And I
interested.
think
Oprah's interested in you. I mean, isn't she with Stedman?
Isn't she with Gail?
Isn't she with Gail?
Listen, guys, I'm a former Olympic athlete, okay?
Yeah. Okay.
Please. But
I don't know if that answered anything. Please, I don't know if that answered anything at this point.
hey, I have some great music to celebrate too, actually.
All right, why don't you play some music before we get out of here? Because this.
Yeah.
All right, give us one little tidbit before you split.
This is a song I'm gonna, because no one. I have a party hat on right now,
Uh-huh.
and no one has actually come to the divorce party.
Well,
Not
that's
yet,
all
they
right.
will.
They will be.
Maybe there's traffic on PCH. I don't know.
People
but I just
show
thought
up.
I'd put an exit from a film on to get the party started.
Okay. Fashionably
By
late.
Radiohead. You know it? Can you hear it? What have I done? Oh, God!
Oh, Bruce. Bruce. Oh, Bruce.
Is there a dog barking?
My entire life!
It's maybe not the best music to play. Okay. Okay. All right. Okay.
Okay.
Have you no mercy on me?
Listen,
That might.
Look at how bad you got!
Okay. All right,
And
Bruce.
I don't believe that you can possibly be there!
okay. Hey, Bruce.
Are you there,
Bruce, you may want to calm down before the guests get
Oh, wait
there.
a minute, guys. Somebody's here. Secret is here.
Okay,
Okay,
that's
all
what I
right,
was gonna
good.
say.
Hang on a second.
No, go ahead.
Ryan, come on in.
Enjoy that. All right.
Ryan.
Bruce, we'll talk to you. Have fun, man. Have fun at the party.
He's out.
Okay, guys. We'll talk soon.
Okay.
Yeah, I'll put on Cool in the Gang. I'll put on Cool in the Gang.
All right, good. Wow, there it is. That's it. Woo! He seems stable.
He's more.
I have
believe
faith
it or
in it.
not, Rob. That is more stable than we've seen him in
wow.
a long, long time.
So the divorce still be good.
At
Yeah,
least he does
it's a good
not now have to still drive down to Long Beach and pick up Kanye's Dolphin Meat.
No,
Yeah.
it still might. He probably still might.
He
do
might
it.
still have to do that.
For the
Rob
love of the
Delaney, the book.
Thanks, guys.
Please pick up this book. It is really, really funny.
Mother, wife, sister.
And a bunch of other things.
Turban, cabbage, all those things.
All those things.
Follow
Falcon.
him on Twitter at Rob Delaney. Get your tickets for Lexington, Kentucky. We've never been there. Comedy Off Broadway. I'm so excited to go. 24th through the 26th of October. Then November 8th, we'll be in St. Louis at 2720 Cherokee Arts Performing Arts Center. And then our hour special we're shooting in Madison, Wisconsin, 222. That is Deuces
14.
Wild, 222-14 February.
Right
Let's
on.
sell it out before we get there. That's my dream. That's my goal. Let's get our tickets now. If you go to majesticmadison.com, you can.
We'll meet you. We'll hang out. We'll have drinks.
And then we'll all hang out at the Tornado Room afterwards. That's what I'm saying. I'm calling it right now. This has been a great show. Thank you to VPN people. Thank you to all of you. Punch Waterfalls. Next week, could we have? We've got Allison Rosen will be on
Yes.
County.
Yes.
And or actually no, Allison Rosen was this past week. Who knows? We got on County.
We'll figure it out.
Thank you to Cody and everybody here at Earwolf. We are out.
Crazy, you girls